Hello, and thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of the Pierrified vlog, where I like to discuss the joys and challenges of living with a disability. Now, today I want to talk about help and providing someone with a disability with help. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have been in a situation where you've asked somebody with a disability for some assistance, or sorry, if they wanted some assistance, but they got very upset at your question. Um, I got a theory about that, and just based on my personal experiences, and that's basically, especially when you're dealing with something um, like a disease or a condition where the things that you used to be able to do are no longer possible because of some sort of weakening. It's a little disheartening when that happens because you know these are things that you were able to do, but now it's a lot harder or not possible to do. So when it comes to a situation where you need help, you're already a little disheartened, and you might get upset a little easier than normal when you're dealing in that situation. Got a couple stories that I want to share. Basically, once I was getting off the bus and I noticed that there was a blind man walking by, and he almost walked into a park bench. And as he was doing that, I kind of warned him and I said, "Watch out, sir. There's a bench in your way. Go to your left or whatever it was." As I said that, another bystander, I guess, kind of jumped in, held the man by his arm, the blind man. Sorry, he held the blind man by his arm, and he was trying to, guide him to where he was going. The man got upset, swore at him, and said, "Hey, don't touch me. I know what I'm doing, or I can get there on my own, or whatever it was." Right? So that kind of surprised me, and I was kind of just kept it on the back of my head, and kind of went on with my day. Then I was put in a similar situation where I was at a grocery store and I was doing some shopping. It was a little easier for me before. When I was stronger, I could just put some stuff in my lap or put it in the basket or throw it in the cart and just pull the cart as I'm going shopping. So at that time, I was a little stronger, but I was in the aisle and I was trying to reach something that was at like the top shelf. I couldn't reach it, so I kind of just sat there, looked at and looked around, see if there's somebody around that could help. I noticed a lady further down in the aisle, and she kind of like kept looking over to see what was going on. So I wheel over to her and I'd be like, "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm having trouble reaching that can of soup up there. I was wondering if you could reach it for me, so I can, purchase it and get going." Oh, she was like, "Sure, no problem." She walked over with me, grabbed it, and threw it in my basket or whatever. And and then she said something that was very telling. She's like, "Oh, I saw that you were struggling, but I didn't want to ask because I was concerned that you might be offended." So I guess on both sides here, some people do get offended, and some people are concerned that by offering help, you will, or that person with a disability will be offended. So what I gotta say about that is it just comes down to communication. So if you see somebody struggling, just ask. The likelihood of them getting upset if you asking first, as opposed to just jumping in and doing it, is less. So what that lady should have done, instead of looking at me like a caged animal in the zoo, she should have walked over and asked if I needed some help. Conversely, the gentleman that the blind man that was having trouble getting past the park bench, instead of yelling at the gentleman that was providing help, he should have just been like, "You know what? Don't worry, I'm okay." But first, before that, the gentleman that jumped in and grabbed him by the arm should have asked as well and said, "Sorry, sir," or "Excuse me, sir, would you like some assistance? I can walk you to the door." So it comes down to both sides. Instead of getting offended, just say, "Thank you, I'm able to do it." And instead of just either jumping in or looking at the person with a disability like they're a caged animal in the zoo, that person should just ask, "Do you need help? I can help you get to the door. Do you need help reaching that can of soup?" Right? And the person will either say, "No, I'm good, thank you very much," or, you know what, just say, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Right? So it always comes down to communication. And regardless of which party you are, whether you're the person with a disability or you're the person providing assistance, it always comes down to asking and communicating properly, and that will make things a lot better for both parties. And hopefully we can eliminate that stigma. Thank you very much. Have a great day.